Greetings and welcome to Sunlight Refuge, where the name of the game is motivation, inspiration, and growth. Hi everyone, my name is Tracey, and if you are new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. So it's Virgo season. It's Virgo season. So I am coming down off of my birthday high. I turned 40 this year, y'all. Like, me turning 40 is like I'm in the grown folks table now. Like, I'm at the grown folks table, right? So, I just been really excited and really like reflecting. Like whenever you have like a birthday or something, it's like you always kind of like reflect on the past year or something like that. But especially when you're turning 40, right? It's like I'm moving into the next phases, of life. And I just wanted to take some time to reflect on that, you know? And today that's what this video is about, because it's like as we grow in life, taking time to reflect on, the valuable lessons that you've learned, and just looking at your past experiences, looking at what you want to attain for future goals, and like everything in between, right? So I wanted to create a video of reflection, right? And just the different areas of life that are key to making us and developing us and turning us into, who we are, right? And so, in no particular order, um, I want to share with you some of my experiences and offer some insight as you are, on your journey as well. So, without further ado, so of course, the first thing I'm thinking of is just relationships, right? So, when we think about relationships, it's more than just like romantic relationships, but the first important relationship is the one that you have with yourself, right? Like, the relationship that you have with yourself starts the way that you interact with the rest of the world, right? And taking that a step further, it's your learning of your foundation, your spiritual foundation, developing your relationship with God, right? And so when I think about relationships, those are the first two things that pop out, because one, you can't know what you want until you know who you are, right? And you can't know where you're going until you have that relationship with God to help open your eyes on why you're here, right? So, moving further along into relationships, it's your relationship with the outside world as well, right? When you're developing your friendships, and when you're developing your business relationships, and things of that nature. And what I've learned too is just the wonderful part about business relationships is just having that mentor, or having that mentorship, and and having people who will actually advocate for you, right? They when when opportunities present themselves that would be good for you, you have people around you that will actually, put up a cause for you, right? And they will um, put your name, in the hat and things of that nature. So just having people that will advocate for you and help you to learn and grow. Those are the types of relationships that you are wanting to nourish and have that throughout your life. You know what I mean? Because when you're establishing your careers and things of that nature, it's like you can always use, another ear, somebody who's been there. So that's always good. And then we move on to like our friendships, and the biggest lessons that I learned within friendships, right, is that um love them. You know what I'm saying? Love those relationships, but also know when it's time to let them go, right? And support people who support you. You know, um, they're going to be friendships that last. They're going to be friendships that last for, a season, things of that nature. But just reflect on the times that you had with that person, or and cherish the ones that are enhancing you, because any type of relationship should offer some type of enhancement, right? It's to elevate you and for you to elevate someone else, however it's a give and it's an ebb and flow, right? So you give, I give, you give, I give, you know what I'm saying? So it's like having those relationships and just knowing that not all of them is um is meant to be forever. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. You know what I mean? Like that is okay. Just embrace the relationships that you have, and if and when that time comes, then keep it classy and move on. You know what I'm saying? So then, when we're talking about life purpose, right? So you talk about like your life path. Like you have to understand that everyone is here for a reason. Everyone was created for a reason, right? And that goes back to your relationship with God, as far as what is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? How do I, elevate the humanity? Like how do I put my little special sauce in this big world that we're all, adding into this pot of life, right? And so having that relationship with God will help you on your life path, and it's just really wonderful when you can see why you're here, and then you begin to nurture those talents and those reasons. So always keep a relationship with the creator. I'm telling you, like, if that's one of the big key factors, because that's what it all comes back to. It all comes back to that, because in life you are going to be tested, you are going to be at a loss, you are going to be, you know what I'm saying, at your low vibrational self, like, you know what I'm saying, and you need that strong foundation to come back to help ground you, you know what I'm saying, and that is your spiritual self. Your spiritual self will always guide you, in the right direction. So having that, knowing how you're here to serve humanity, is really good, and it goes back like to your careers and things as well. It's like when you know what your purpose is, or you find like the things that makes you happy, and and how you will want to either step into or create a job that you know highlights that, highlights your purpose work, so those things are, they all, everything kind of goes hand in hand, you know what I'm saying, you can't have one without the other, kind of a thing. So just nourish those things, right? And so another big one is financial security, right? And my mom had a saying, mama got, papa got, but God bless the child who has his own. And it's so true. Like, you got to educate yourself on, financial education. You have to have your own. And a lesson that I learned is like, even when you're in a committed relationship, you still want to have that um that financial independence, right? Because in case something goes awry or whatever the scenario is, right? You don't want to, you want to be okay, right? Because it can prevent you from having to start all the way over from scratch, And um yeah, but you always get there, you know what I'm saying? Like, you always get to the next hurdle, but get over the next hurdle, but it's like you can make it a little bit easier if you have your own funds, and then that way you are not subject to somebody else's BS, you know. Um because not everybody factors in contributions outside of like a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you were like a stay-at-home mom or something to that effect, and your person, is the one that take care of the finances, and then something goes awry in there, and then it's like all of a sudden these are all my finances. I'm like, okay, that's you know what I'm saying? But then that's what I'm saying about that spiritual um relationship, because God's like, I got you, I got you, we got you, you good. And then you just continue on, you know what I'm saying? But you always want to have your own. You don't want to be dependent on somebody. I don't know what that is though. It's like, if it's like when a person sees that you're dependent on them, like, it tends to fall on them flipping the script. Like, what is that? Like, I ain't never understood that. Like, okay, so we got a plan that this is what you do, this is what I do, but then it's like, all then the switch get flipped, and then it's like, don't we're not even finna operate in what we new rules. So you don't want to be subject to the new rules out here, you know what I'm saying? And people tend to like, they be dogging you a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So, and I personally had that happen. I was like, oh, okay. And I learned very quickly, like, being down and out is, that's not for me. People ragging on me, that's not for me. You know what I'm saying? But then within that, I'm the type of person where it's like, if somebody else is down and out, um, I'm not gonna rag on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna offer that help if that's, the role that I play in that person's scenario. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not fun. It's not cute at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you want to have um, your own, and it starts with your financial education. You know what I'm saying? And your wealth building, and within um, like your wealth building, like, learn about credit. You know what I'm saying? Um, Learn about equity. You know what I'm saying? Learn about creating your own business, things that are going to contribute to your financial independence, you know what I'm saying? Your financial stability, you know what I mean? So look into those things. And just a little tidbit for if I have the younger generation, or if you just don't know, but one thing that always stuck out with me with credit when I was learning about credit is that when you are opening a line of credit, like, don't do it with a loan, right? Because you want to have that what's it called, the financial, um like your credit length, your credit history length, like how long have you been having, good credit and stuff. And when you close out your loan after you pay it off, then all that's like wiped away. You know what I'm saying? So if you are going to use credit, don't start your first line of credit, your long standing, with a loan, because they look at that. So I don't know. That's just one of the things that just kind of stuck um, with me when it came to credit. Um, Another thing is self care. Mm. And I'm so glad I learned that, because I am the type of person that will give and do and give and do to the point of I just can't do no more. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't good um, for me. And that's what I'm saying. It's another thing too. Like when you giving, um, people tend to take. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you gotta like prioritize yourself, right? You got to prioritize your self care, filling your cup. Um, because if you don't have anything for yourself, then, you can't expect to keep pouring into somebody else. You know what I mean? So, be mindful of that. Take breaks, establish some me time. Like, it's really important, whatever that looks like for you. That's really important for rejuvenation and renewal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have that fine wine brown. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking all, if you just tired and down and out all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, you want to have that rejuvenation. You want to have that renewal. You want to have that peace in your skin. You know what I mean? Like, and that's where it comes from, prioritizing you. So that one was a big one, and I'm glad I learned it, and I love it. And that's one of the things that is like really important to me, because I'm important to me, right? So and another one, like I keep going back to, is healing. You got to heal. And it was so crazy because the other day, like, I was listening to just a little playlist or whatever, and then one of the songs came out like, "You hurt me so bad, you hurt me so bad, and because of what you did to me, now I'm finna do it to every other person that I meet after you." And I'm like, no, if you recognize that this person hurt you, you have to stop and heal. Why are you gonna go and get into a relationship and do the same thing that somebody did to you, knowing how that stuff made you feel? That's what I'm saying. You be like all this toxic music and stuff. Like, you gotta watch yourself. And if you're not talking back to the song, or the movie that you watch, you know what I'm saying? Then don't let them program you now. Cause I was like, now that's just toxicity right there. Like, you can't do that. You have to take the proper time to heal. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're coming out of a relationship. Like, you can't just get out of one and just, sometimes it happens, but you gotta like heal. Sometimes people will come into your life to help you heal. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing. But before, if you feel like you want to hurt somebody before they hurt you, or you feel like you can't be honest with somebody because they're going to treat you the same way that the other person treated you, or you know what I'm saying, if you're carrying on that baggage, like, you're not healed, please stop, take some time for yourself and get that together before you go and pursue somebody, because you don't want to keep carrying on that hurt. You know what I'm saying? And you got people, you got your ancestors, you have the creator, you have help. So all you got to do is like commit to it. You know what I'm saying? You got to look it straight in the eye, face it, and deal with it. But don't go out and start hurting other people because you're hurt. That's not okay. You know. Um so take some time, the proper time, and heal. And in that way, when you have like a disagreement, because that's what I'm saying, like when you have like a disagreement with somebody, and then your first thing is like get them, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I don't know, some type of sinister stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like it's on that get back, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta watch yourself. Like you can't be in a relationship with somebody that you swear you love, but as soon as a disagreement come about, you ready to be like, just so take the proper time. It's very, very important. um Prayer and meditation is so important within your spiritual therapy, like taking that time to just breathe it in and let it out, and hear from creator, and you know what I'm saying, you just have that connection, you just tap in with the universe. Like that's so, that's really important to your growth, um as well as your, being your best self, and how vibrating at your highest self, right? So you have to take that time and, you know slow down and get you some prayer, meditation, get you some answers, get you some spiritual answers from the one, that matters, and stay away from vices. They gonna be there, but that's the easy way, and it's not the right way. If you you know what I'm saying, if you doing it on an everyday basis because you're trying to suppress something, like that's the worst part, because you allow that to be your crutch instead of allowing God to heal what you need your healing in. You know what I'm saying? So please stay away from devices, um, because it's a temporary placebo. It's not even a solution. It's just is, you know what I'm saying? So that's really important. And then health and wellness. Health and wellness. Like you gotta take care of your vehicle, right? You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta take care of with the dieting, not dieting, but just eating right. You know what I'm saying? Clean living as much as you can. You know what I'm saying? And learn to read these labels and learn what they are potentially, or can do to you. You know what I'm saying? And exercising. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be walking or running or doing some type of physical activity. You can't just be sitting down all day. You got to get up and get active, because your body needs it. We wasn't here to be couch potatoes. Like, no. You got to get up, get out, and do something, right? So your health and wellness, you have to prioritize that as well, because what you can do in your 20s, 30s, 40s, you gonna slow down, you know what I'm saying, potentially, and you can be in good shape, but it's just, your body's getting older. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So um that's why it's really important to just, stay active, and and things of that nature, especially when like you working so much, you got so much to do, like you have to try to find some time to prioritize that. And nowadays it's like you can get a um like an exercise video, or you know what I'm saying, like it's everywhere now, so find what you like, create you an exercise playlist, you know what I'm saying, and work on your healing, work on your body, work on, enhancing yourself, because that's really important, and that includes like your mental health as well. Like sometimes you can just do and do and do and do and do, and then you just crack up. You know what I'm saying? Like your body is not built to sustain all that type of, pressure on you and things of that nature. So mental health is also important to your wellness. Like you got to prioritize you, because if you don't, like it can come crumbling down on you, and you don't want to be putting yourself in those type of scenarios and things of that nature. So um find some information. Like you have to get the information, you have to learn, you know what I'm saying, you should always be learning. um so that was really important. Health and wellness is really important. And then when it comes down to like courting and marriage, like what I've learned is you really do have to like pray for your mate, right? And you have to, within that, it's like just as you praying and God is guiding you and things of that nature, just work on you. You know what I'm saying? And as you working on yourself, like God is gonna send you that person, and you'll feel it. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but you gotta keep God first. Like once you get that person, don't get lazy with the healing journey. Don't get lazy with your spirituality. Like you can't let these things go, because it's all a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep God front and center. Um, because if not, then what's sustaining your relationship? You know what I'm saying? And then it can cause you to lose out on good relationships and things of that nature. So you want to make sure that you are praying and working on yourself first, and keeping God first, and you know what I'm saying. And when you find somebody, just because you find somebody or somebody finds you, don't mean that they're it. So one of the biggest things I have to tell you is look at that tree, right? Look at their roots. Look at what they prioritize. Look at what their foundation is made of. Because if that's what they mama and they family and all of them is doing, then you know what I'm saying? That's in them too. So sometimes you gotta like beware of the dudes or the women with potential. Sometimes potential ain't a good thing, because sometimes potential can be a word used to change somebody. You know what I'm saying? Potential is not change. Like, of course, you want somebody to grow and keep working on their stuff and, things of that nature. Um, but it's not the same as you have to change who they are. Because when you change who they are, they're going to revert back to who they were at some point in time, and then it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not who they really were. So that's another thing too. Like, be honest about who you are. Be honest about the things that you struggle with, the things that you excel with, where you're going, where you're not going, which you know what I'm saying. Be honest about that, because you can only front for so long, and all you're doing is prolonging the inevitable, because you can't front forever. At some point, the front is you know what I'm saying. The walls is the mask is, you know what I'm saying. And I mean, some people will stay, but you know what I'm saying. Once that mask on, you be like, yeah, dang, what the, you know. And then you're gonna be like, okay, bye. So just be who you are, because who you are, somebody's gonna love who you are, right? So don't change who you are to try to get somebody, because that may work for a little while, but like If you meet somebody who don't eat meat or they don't drink, and you eat meat and you do drink, and you try to act like, oh yeah, I quit that, and you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, come on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like once you, that's why you got to get to know people and be honest during the getting to know 'em, because it's gonna come out at some point anyway. So it's like, just be you. And if that's not the person for you, okay. Like, it's all right. It's so many people in the world. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? So be you. Um, and just don't be wearing a mask. Don't be trying to impress somebody. And if you are, then say that. I don't normally do this, but I just felt like I really wanted to like do something really nice for you. That way she or he is not expecting this, like this is what you do. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta start how you want to finish. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to start with a facade and you buying, and you know what I'm saying, then you gonna have to maintain that. Cause you said that. That was part of the, what is it, alluring, essence about yourself or whatever. And now, you know what I'm saying? Then you can't keep it up, and then now you want to get mad because the other person like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? So just be yourself. You are a beautiful and wonderful person. Be yourself, okay? So yeah, so life lessons are like really cool because they just they're just so many teachable moments. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes down to like parenting, like there's no manual for it, but you want to do your best, and it can be challenging when you have unhealed people and people putting up a facade and people who just ain't right within, and you know what I'm saying, because you looked at love like, oh, I love, and now you don't have that love no more. So essentially, what the world tell you, you don't love them, you hate them, you don't like them. You know what I'm saying? And then here's the rift. But now you got these children, or you got this child, and it's just like, and in the meantime, people just promoting discord for personal gains, and it's a hot mess. So you know what I'm saying. So when you're courting and you're looking for a wife, that's what I'm saying. That's why I tell my children, like, I get it. I had relationships as a younger, person or whatever, and as I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm evolving, right? And so what I've learned is like, no, like, it's not dating, it's courting. It's setting an intention that I want to get to know you, to build with you. And I don't think that a 17, 16, 12, you know what I'm saying, can build. What can you build? How can you take care of? You know what I'm saying? So it's like children trying to step into grown up world. But if you step into grown up world, you got to be a full grown up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be about that life all the way. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, like, you can't be a mom and then be like, oh, I don't feel like momming today. Like, no, you got to be all in. Like, rain, sunshine, sleep, tired, sick, whatever the scenario is, you got a mama every day. You know, and it's really rewarding when I see, sometimes relationships don't work out, but they do have children, but then they make a decision to say, all right, our relationship didn't work, but we're gonna do we're going to be good parents, and we're going to be respectful of each other, and we're going to respect the roles, you know what I'm saying? You as the mother and me as the father, and you know what I'm saying? And we're going to do this thing. We're going to knock it out, and you know what I'm saying? Like, just that level of maturity, like if you are operating under that, like please give yourself a round of applause, because that is so selfless. It's so selfless to say, I'm not fin to be a douche or be a jerk or be, you know what I'm saying, or be nasty, or you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna do that because our relationship didn't work out. Like, look what we created, and we're going to give this child, these children, the best that we can give them. You know what I'm saying? While living our independent lives. You know what I mean? Like, that takes a level of godliness. When you got God in the picture, when you have a spiritual relationship, like that comes first. Like, I'm about to get, because that's just like so wonderful. You know what I'm saying? And that's just such a beautiful, that's just such a selfish and beautiful commitment, you know, to say thank you, God, for sending me these little people, this little person, and I'm gonna do my best. We're gonna do our best to make sure that they, you know, that they have a good upbringing, so I don't have broken children and now we have broken adults. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want that type of cycle in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's beautiful. And it takes a certain type of person, people, environment to stick with that and operate within that. And if that's you, like, please give yourself a round of applause, because that's really a beautiful thing. So then, like, when we talk about all the things that we've learned, and we get to reflect on, you know, all the teachable moments and the things that we've learned, and we continue to carry on and grow, like, it brings you into like your future goals. So like, what are some of your future goals? Like, when you look at, you know, however old you are, and you look back on these past 1 to 3 to 5 years or whatever, and just kind of see where your growth is. Like, what's your vision? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the next step for you? What do you want that to look like, right? And write those down. Write those down. And start executing those, right? Little by little, day by day. You know, you're going to look back and you're going to have all of those completed, you know. A big one for me, I wrote a couple of them down. So a big one for me is just a personal growth. Like, challenging myself and recognizing that you never stop learning, right? You never stop learning. So invest in your education, you know what I'm saying? And keep learning, keep growing, keep giving information, you know what I'm saying? Keep taking in information, applying it, you know, so you can just keep leveling up, and you can just keep being the best that you can be, you know what I'm saying? And then you'll get good people who feel the same way, and you know what I mean? So then, like, you just have like all these wonderful people doing all these things that are similar to you, and you know, you can have that little network and stuff like that. So personal growth has always been a big one for me, especially being a Virgo, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always like learning and growing and things. So you can see why self-care is like really important for a person like me, because you're always doing, and sometimes you feel guilty when you're not doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, I'm telling you, that was a whole real thing, and I'm glad that I found my balance. You know what I'm saying? You gotta find your balance. So, and then financial stability, but not only financial stability, but sustainability, because you want to get that money, you want to keep that money growing. right? So those are that's another one that I'm working on, because like I said, you don't want to have the carpet ripped from underneath you. And a wise one said, if you give them permission to feed you, no, you give them permission to feed you, you give them permission to starve you. And what that means is, like, if you just depending on them, then they have they're in a position to, like, rip the carpet from under you, and sometimes that happens. So don't give nobody permission. You give yourself permission, you and God. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to have the carpet ripped from under you, and you work hard for the life that created, and you don't want nobody to come and mess that up. And this is a complete sidebar, but it was just on my brain right quick. Um, Squatters, like, be careful who you let come into your home, because these people come into your home and be trying to take root into what you created. And that's another way, like, this lady lost everything. Like, these people crazy. So just be careful who you let in your circle, who in your home. And one thing that I do is just kind of like, especially now, it's like my home is like my forever place. So you got to really be like a forever type of person to know my home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta spend some time, and you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta develop something before you can just come to my home. So yeah, meet meet them. Let them meet you. Don't be picking up at no house, because after 3 weeks, when this come off, now they know where you at. You know what I'm saying? Anybody just been pick up where they at and go somewhere else, and you know what I'm saying? We're not trying to do all that. So that's a safety thing. Like, you can't be letting everybody know where you at, what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And be mindful. Sometimes it's like, if you are getting to know somebody, they are not trustworthy. Watch your purse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be over there just drinking till you pass out. You know what I'm saying? Um, don't be going over to people's houses. Like, I don't know. These people crazy. They be having mirrors and cameras and stuff, and I don't know. These people crazy. All I know is I love everybody, but these people crazy at the same time. So it's like I got a family. Like, I love myself. I'm trying to, I'm not trying to get caught up. So just be easy with that. Like, if these are your people, it'll come. But don't, love them, but people crazy. So just keep that in mind. But so another one that I am excited about as far as future goals is just building my lifelong legacy, right? And what's the legacy of the family? So like I said, I just turned 40. So in my mind, I'm like a matriarch in training, right? At some point, my mom is going to, like, pass the baton, and I want to be in position to, be a vessel to create and sustain, my family's legacy, right? And to me, that is a responsibility like no other, because it's like now you become the glue. You know what I'm saying? You become the ones that the younger generation looks to for advice, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a responsibility within that. And I'm excited about being a matriarch in training, and maybe I'll do a video on that, like what all that pertains, um and recognizing, like, who is the step into the role of, the family's keeper. Yeah, that sounds like a good thing to dive into. But yeah, so that's it. So I'm just excited. I had a wonderful birthday weekend, but it ain't over because Virgos, we celebrate all season long. So I'm just celebrating all the little Virgos and stuff, and we just laugh about our Virgo tendencies and stuff like that. So it's just real cute. And then it's like then nobody quite understands like another Virgo. That's what I miss about my sister. My oldest sister, she was a Virgo, and we just used to just laugh about Virgo things that don't nobody else get. So that was like our little inside joke or whatever. Um, but yeah, so that's it, y'all. I just wanted to come in and just share some of the life lessons that I've learned and where I'm at and where I'm going. And you take some time to reflect. Always take some time to reflect, because life is full of tests. Life are full of tests. It's beautiful, it's messy, it's crazy, it's annoying, it's wonderful. It's like it's so many different feelings or whatever. But I'm glad to be here, and I'm just gonna continue giving it the best I got. And you continue to give it the best that you have, as well. And and be each other's keeper. You got an issue, talk it out, work it out before it becomes something so big you can't walk back from. you know um, you did something wrong, like take accountability and apologize, and go from there. You know what I'm saying? And love the people that's loving on you, and be proud of yourself, and be your biggest cheerleader, and never stop learning, never stop growing. And you're here for a reason, right? So get on that purpose work. Until next time, have a wonderful day.